Rich Dad, Poor Dad starts with a simple setup. Robert Kiyosaki grows up in Hawaii with two dads. His biological dad, the poor dad, is highly educated, a school administrator who believes in getting good grades, a secure job, and a pension. His best friend's father, the rich dad, left school early, owns businesses, and thinks about money completely differently. As a kid, Robert's confused. Both dads are smart, both work hard, but one talks like money is the root of all evil and chases security, while the other says the lack of money is the root of all evil and chases opportunities. The whole book is him unpacking the lessons he got from those two voices and why he chose the rich dad mindset. Just to let you know, whether you're traveling on public transport with headphones on, driving to work, or just need to rest your eyes, No Time Didn't Read summaries give you back an opportunity to get updated with a new book regularly. Listen on. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. The first big idea is that the rich don't work for money, they make money work for them. Poor Dad's plan is, study hard, get a job, earn a salary, hope for raises, rely on the government and your employer for retirement. Rich Dad's plan is, use your job as a stepping stone, but focus on building assets that generate cash flow whether you're working or not. Kiyosaki tells the story of working for Rich Dad's shop for a tiny wage as a kid. When he complains, Rich Dad uses it as a lesson. If you just react emotionally, pay me more, you stay in the rat race. If you step back and ask, how do I get out of this needing a paycheck at all? You start thinking like an investor and owner. The key point he hammers is, it's not how much you earn, it's how much you keep, and how hard your money is working for you. Lesson 2, assets versus liabilities, and why your house may not be an asset. The core technical idea of the book is understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. In Rich Dad language, it's very simple. An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes money out of your pocket. Rich people, he says, focus on buying assets. Rental properties, businesses, stocks, intellectual property, anything that reliably generates income. The poor and middle class often buy liabilities they think are assets. A bigger house, a fancier car, consumer debt. Things that create ongoing expenses. He's especially provocative about your home. Your primary residence, he says, is often a liability, not an asset, because it usually costs you money every month in mortgage, taxes, and maintenance, and doesn't pay you. That doesn't mean never buy a house, but it does mean don't confuse owning a home with owning income-producing assets. For Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad game is building your personal asset column until the cash flow from assets cover your expenses. That's when you're financially free. Lesson 3. The rat race, fear, and financial education. Another big theme is the rat race. Earn, spend, get a raise, buy more stuff, repeat. Kiyosaki argues most people are trapped there because of fear and ignorance. Fear of not paying the bills keeps you chained to a paycheck. Fear of losing money keeps you from investing or starting anything. Ignorance, a lack of financial education, means you don't see other options. He's very blunt that schools rarely teach financial literacy. How taxes work, how to read a balance sheet, how to evaluate investments. So people end up highly educated in their profession but illiterate about money, like his poor dad, great at earning, bad at keeping and growing. Rich Dad teaches him to confront emotions, fear and greed, instead of letting them silently steer decisions. Wealthy people, in his view, learn from failures, take calculated risks, and see losses as tuition, not death sentences. Lesson 4. Work to learn, not just to earn. Kiyosaki also flips the usual career advice. Poor Dad says, specialize, climb the ladder, get job security. Rich Dad says, in your early years, work to learn skills that make you a better investor and entrepreneur. Sales, marketing, managing people, understanding numbers, even if it means lower pay at first. He encourages things like taking jobs that teach you how businesses really operate, learning to sell and communicate even if you're introverted, understanding basic accounting so you can read financial statements. The idea is that once you have those skills, you're less dependent on any one employer. You can spot opportunities, start ventures, and evaluate deals instead of just trading time for money forever. Lesson 5. Taxes, corporations, and playing by different rules. One more controversial part of the book is his discussion of taxes and corporations. Kiyosaki argues that the rich use corporations and legal structures as tools to reduce taxes, limit liability, and funnel money into assets before it's heavily taxed. Poor Dad, as a salaried employee, pays taxes on his income before he ever gets to invest. Rich Dad, as an owner, can have the business earn money, deduct expenses, invest in assets, and only then pay tax on what's left. Kiyosaki's point isn't cheat the system, but learn the system so you're not the one getting punished by it. He also briefly introduces the cash flow quadrant: employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. Most people live in employed or self-employed, trading time for money. Financial freedom usually lives in business owner and investor, where systems and capital do more of the work. If you boil Rich Dad Poor Dad down to what he really wants you to take away, it's this: don't rely on a job alone. Build assets that pay you even when you're not working. Learn the language of money: assets versus liabilities, cash flow, taxes, and risk. Because what you don't know will keep you stuck. Challenge the scripts you were given about security and playing it safe, especially if they came from people who are still financially stressed. In other words, think less like an employee and more like an owner, and keep asking with every financial decision, is this building my asset column or just making my rat race more expensive?